Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want to talk about the goons who infiltrated Gen Z's demonstrations today across the country. Because from what was observed and what I personally observed, we cannot rule out the fact that goons infiltrated Gen Z's protest today. And that brings us to the big question: who sponsored the goons? If you listen to William Ruto's team, they are accusing Rigathi of having sponsored the goons. And we can still remember a few days ago, Rigathi himself said NIS was planning to frame him and Uhuru Kenyatta over the demonstrations, this chaos. So it's a fact. Ruto's team are blaming Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi has also realized that, and he says NIS wants to frame him. I want us to dig deep into this for Kenyans to understand what's happening here. It's a fact they are goons. From where I sit, these goons have been sponsored by the government. These ones we are seeing looting, causing destruction. These ones have been sponsored by the government. And when I talk about the government, Rigathi is part of that government. The government is being headed by William Ruto. Rigathi is his deputy. So the entire government might have sponsored these goons. How then should Gen Zs handle this? To answer that question, we must first of all understand the aim, the goal of the goons. Why are the goons being sponsored? To cause havoc. The first reason, these goons have been sponsored to paint the demonstrators as criminals, violent people. And that should go hand in hand with what William Ruto said, that those who stormed parliament walikuwa wakora. So these goons are being sponsored to satisfy the remarks William Ruto made that wale walikuwa wakora. The aim and intention of that is for the police to be brutal on the innocent, peaceful demonstrators. That's the first reason the government is sponsoring these goons. The goons are meant to paint a bad picture of the peaceful demonstrators. The ultimate goal, the police to be brutal on the innocent demonstrators. The second reason, these goons have also been sponsored to divide Kenyans. Because if you look at shop owners in the CBD, they are now arming themselves to fight goons. That only means that as the protests and demonstrations continue, there will be a bad blood between shop owners and the innocent demonstrating Kenyans. So you are seeing Ruto's government intends to split Kenyans. Both the shop owners and these Gen Zs protesting, all of them are in agreement that Ruto has failed, he should go. So by sponsoring these goons, Ruto is splitting Kenyans. The ultimate goal here, he wants Kenyans to start fighting themselves. And that will kill the spirit of the demonstrations, hence making it very hard for Kenyans to remove Ruto from power. So that's also a reason why these goons are being sponsored. Another reason, the goons are also being sponsored to scare innocent Kenyans from going out to the streets to protest, because some are innocent and they might not be interested in going out to face off with the goons. So the intention here is also to scare Kenyans from going out to protest. I know there might be so many reasons why the government is sponsoring these goons, but I believe that those are the main reasons why the goons are being sponsored. What's the way forward? If you look at other countries where they have had successful revolutions, what is happening in Kenya happened in those other countries. Kenya is not an exception. In fact, any government will do what William Ruto is doing. Any government that has failed to deliver will do exactly what Ruto is doing. We saw that in Sri Lanka, where the government sponsored goons, took the military to the streets, the police were very brutal. All those things Ruto is doing were done in other countries. But that did not discourage the protesters in those other countries. They moved on and eventually they were able to achieve success. They never allowed the government or the police brutalities, the military, to discourage them. The only way Kenyans can succeed in sending William Ruto home is if they take to the streets. Without taking to the streets, William Ruto will not change. In fact, if it was not Kenyans storming parliament, William Ruto could have not rejected the finance bill 2024. As much as Kenyans are mobilizing themselves online, without taking to the streets, this government will not change. In fact, it will be more brutal. The only thing therefore Kenyans should do, they should not be in a hurry. It's never a one-day thing or a one-week thing or a one-month thing. It takes time and patience. Kenyans should be very strategic on how they hold these demonstrations. Before they go to the streets to hold these demonstrations, they should mobilize enough numbers online. Let them mobilize enough numbers online, just as they did last Tuesday. After mobilizing enough numbers, the good numbers will be enough to scare away the goons. I don't think there is any brave goon who can face off with 1,000,000 people. On Tuesday, last week, the goons tried it, but they were given thorough beatings in Nairobi and in other parts of the country. The goons are cowards. So the way forward, before Kenyans and Gen Z takes to the street, let them mobilize enough numbers. They should not be in a hurry to go to the streets. Upon mobilizing enough numbers, just as they did last week, let them now take to the streets. The goons will run away. That's what I'm saying here, ladies and gentlemen. But the bottom line here, they should not lose focus. There should be constant pressure on Ruto. This pressure should come online, just as they did mobilize themselves in the first place. After gaining momentum, let them actualize that on the ground. That's the only way forward, ladies and gentlemen. But they cannot coil their tails because of the goods. They will be playing into the hands of the government because the goods are being unleashed to scare them away so that they can stop going to the streets. They should not buy that. Let them mobilize enough numbers. These numbers will scare the goons. And any goon will dare confront them. Will actually cast that day. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Anybody watching us outside Kenya for the first time, drop a comment, let us know. from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.